Hey guys, and welcome to my very first episode of 8 Minutes with Ash. Today I'm super excited to share with you why cardio is actually stopping you from losing weight. But I'm also going to talk about what signals that cardio is sending your body, also your metabolism and how you can either slow it down or speed it up, and a heap of other info as well. I'll also touch on training and eating for your goals and what you should actually be doing. But first things first, before we get into it, I just want to make sure that you guys don't think that this is a total hate on cardio rant, because it's certainly not. Cardio is great for you, it's great for your body, and it releases feel-good hormones and everything else. So I just wanted to get that out of the way first. But I just get so many of my ladies that I help one-on-one that are using it wrong, or just not using it right for their goals, and they just simply cannot understand why. So summer's around the corner and you most likely are wanting to drop some fat, you want to tone up, like most of us. And most people actually just turn to cardio and reduce their food intake, but it's actually the total opposite of what you should be doing. Now, cardio does burn a lot of calories, and you will lose some weight, but your body does adapt as it becomes more efficient. Cardio does make your body enter an endurance and stamina mode. Now, at the start, it starts to eat away at your muscle, because muscle is just not productive for stamina and endurance. Now, some of that weight loss that I was just chatting about will actually come from muscle. Think like a marathon runner, for example. This is referred to as adaptation. Now, I do chat about adaptation quite a lot, so make sure that you remember that one. But what happens is, just after a few weeks, our bodies adapt to the conditions that we put it under, and it will adapt to become more efficient. Now, this dates way back to caveman days, so we can't really change that, but we can send the correct signal to our body for the goal that we're chasing. Now, think of your first 30-minute cardio session that you've done. You know, say it burns 500 calories, for example. Your body's job is to become more efficient, which is why we become fitter the more you train. Now, it wants to do the same output for the less calories. And when you do cardio excessively at high intensity, and you know, you can start to store fat, because your body can actually start to increase its cortisol levels. Now, this is usually around the point when we notice that things aren't changing, and this is generally where I see people actually adding more cardio and eat less food. Now, from there, it's just a never-ending circle of adding more cardio and your body just becoming more efficient. Now, after that, you know, I guess we're dropping more calories. Like I said, we're picking up that cardio, and before you know it, you're eating 1,200 calories a day and you're training your absolute butt off and nothing is changing, and it gets even worse from there. Recent studies actually show that it's possible for your body to grow new fat cells. So it's not just possible, it's likely, and it's happening regularly. You guys have most likely gone through the process that I just spoke about, or you've done an 8-week challenge or a 28-day shred or whatever it might be. And it's always, almost always made up of cardio or HIIT, and a super low calorie diet. Now, while it's possible to reverse out of here and reverse diet out of that situation to avoid the new fat cells, it generally isn't the case. Generally, what happens is you've been in a deficit for so long and you're craving all the food that you shouldn't, and you decide to spoil yourself. I've done it before. Not necessarily anything huge or way out, but just a bit of a pig out, I guess, on junk. Or maybe you return to the way you were eating beforehand, and then that's when your body will generate new fat cells. Now, this is different to gaining weight like we might have before. Before, if you gain weight, the individual fat cells just got bigger. Then as we lose weight, they get smaller. However, if you go through a period of significant calorie deficit followed by a significant increase, which might just mean that you've gone back to 2,000 calories from 1,200 calories, whatever it might be, your body builds new fat cells. Now, these fat cells you can't get rid of, and this is why you feel like the minute you eat something off your plan, it just sticks to you, and you're just experiencing classic yo-yo dieting. I do have another episode where I'm going to go more detail into this, so make sure that you stay tuned for that one. But if your goal is primarily just to drop some body fat or have a bikini body or a toned body, it's just nearly impossible to do it this way. And There are some genetically gifted humans out there that this simply doesn't apply to. I like to call them the outliers, but I doubt they're watching this, to be honest. They're most likely enjoying their delicious juicy burger and watching their abs grow at the same time. However, though, if you're like me and like the 99 point something other percent of people out there that this applies to us. You know, this is generally the point that my ladies are at when I meet them, and this is where I show them how to increase their food through reverse dieting and change their training to suit their goals, which 99 times out of 100 is generally a significant reduction in training. And while it does actually feel really quite counterintuitive at the start, every single lady that I have mentored through this process has been able to get exactly the results that they've wanted. Now, all of this whilst being able to increase their food way up. For example, myself, I'm currently eating well and truly over 2,000 calories now, and I'm not gaining any fat. Now, not so long ago, I couldn't eat a calorie over 1,500 without gaining weight. So we did speak about the signal that cardio sends your body, that same signal to drop muscle, retain fat, and be super efficient at burning calories. Now, when we talk resistance training, it does basically the opposite. While everyone is really different, and there's certainly a screening process we need to go through to get it right for you, this would say be around 70% of what I would typically see. Now, usually when I get my ladies to give me their food diary, we track for around a week or two just to find out where their body is sitting. They're usually in a calorie deficit, which means they're eating less calories than their body needs. And they're doing this to try and lose weight. Now, we won't be able to grow muscle in a deficit, and we need you in a surplus. And by doing resistance training instead, we will actually increase the amount of calories that your body needs every day. So this does mean eating more food, which is very good. And the more muscle you grow, the more fat you lose, and then we're on a positive cycle now. So when I say muscle though, guys, I really don't want to, I really don't want you to think that I'm talking big bodybuilder physique style muscle, but I just want to confirm that muscle does in fact equal tone, which is the most common request that comes from women wanting to work with me. So growing muscle or having more muscle, it speeds up your metabolism, which in turn burns more fat. Although if resistance training, sounds like something that doesn't really appeal to you, I've got some good news. It didn't appeal to me either. I trained HIIT for years and years, and I absolutely freaking loved it. I just really didn't know how much it was actually holding me back from reaching my goals. And if you train HIIT style cardio now, and you have a resistance style program going at the same time, it's okay, but you're just not really doing yourself any favors. It's really like filling up a cup with a hole in the bottom of it. But you can work on them separately to maximize your results. Now, if you're super duper in love with whatever kind of training you're doing at the moment, we may even be able to find a way to fit it in. Probably not marathon training, but if you like HIIT, for example, we can do something like 12-minute HIIT sessions at 100% effort instead of those 45 to an hour sessions. But guys, I really don't want to confuse you anymore. So if you are interested in learning more from me, please feel free to reach out. The best part about my one-on-one mentoring is that through this 9-week program, I teach you all of this, and I teach you heaps more too. And if you do want to gain muscle and burn fat, you will know how to do it yourself by the end. I give you a training program, but not only that, I teach you what kind of resistance training you should be doing and why. And basically, I just set you up to succeed. That's all I want for you guys. I give you all the tools you need to hit your goals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link to my email below. So please reach out. But until I drop episode 2, I will see you next time.